Morning class. So we're going to be working out of our book starting at page 62. Working on activity 2, so that's going to be 62, 63, and 64. That's what this video is going to go over. As you can see right here, the title is rotating any points on the coordinate plane. So we have some experience with this in our guided notes that we did last week. But we're going to further explore this in the different ways to rotate using coordinates, but also paths that we rotate as well. So if you have your patty paper, you're going to need that for a part of this. But let's go and get started on 62. So the direction, consider the point X and Y located anywhere in the first quadrant. We're just saying it's X and Y. Number 1, it says use the origin as a point of rotation. Rotate the point XY as described in the table and plot and label the new point, then record the coordinates of each. So when we take this point here, right, XY, let's say we rotate this, we're going to go, let me highlight this here, 90 degrees counterclockwise. So we have the rule for that. If you rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise, so just a review from last week, you're going to get a point that's somewhere over here in the second quadrant. That point is, we'll write it here and then we'll write it in the table as well. It looks like this. Negative y comma x. So let's write that in here. Right, and we talked about in coordinate in the coordinate plane notes, right? Everything in the second quadrant, the first value is negative and the second value is positive. So an example here is, let's say this point. This point could be negative 2 comma 3. First value is negative, second value is positive. But as you can see here, you don't have to draw this, but if you connect this, that is 90 degrees, right, opposite of a clock, counterclockwise. Next one is 90 degrees clockwise. So we're going to be going this way. All right. So from XY, it's going to be somewhere in the fourth quadrant. We'll say right here. And anything within the fourth quadrant is, you switch X and Y, but in this case, X is negative. Write that in here. Whoops. So Y comma negative X. All right. And then finally, rotating 180 degrees. Notice how for this, it doesn't say clockwise or counterclockwise. It's going to be the same point. But 180 degrees will be somewhere here. And this is negative X comma negative Y. We'll write that in here as well. So we're going to get to a point where we work on our assignment, work on a quiz, test. It's going to be important to reference this. So I'm going to put a star around this. We'll be referring to these points quite a bit. But for right now, we're going to move on to page 63, which is working on rotating using, we're going to be using patty paper. You can even rotate your book, but let's go ahead and move on to the next page, page 63. All right, so we're going to rotate this triangle that's on the grid, ABC, and it's connected to number 2. It says rotate the triangle. Oops. Rotate triangle ABC as described on the table. Then graph it, label the new triangle, and then we're going to finally record the coordinates in this table here. Okay. All right, so let's go and look at the first one. So rotating 90 degrees counterclockwise. Now, not that we need it right now, but let's use this. So negative y comma x. This is for rotating 100 or 90 degrees counterclockwise. What I'm going to recommend that you do is draw this triangle using patty paper, and we're going to rotate this. So I can't draw patty paper on here using this, but I'm going to recommend that you copy down the triangle. Maybe pause this, give yourself like 30 seconds to draw it. But you're going to be copying down this triangle, copy down A, B, and C. Draw this T at the origin, put that point, and that's going to be where you're going to be rotating from. But I'm going to show it in a different way since I can't really show patty paper on here. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the path from the origin to each point. So let's say B here. So this is the path that I go 6 right and 1 up. You don't have to draw that path, but if I take this and I rotate this 90 degrees counterclockwise, I'm going to leave that at the origin. You can see that the path is no longer 6 right and 1 up. It's 6 up and 1 left. So that is the point that I'm going to draw. B prime. So we'll put a point there. We'll put B prime. I'm going out of order here, but let's go and put what B prime is on the table. That is -1, 6. So 1 to the left and 6 up. All right, next thing that we're going to do here is, and I'm not going to do this for all the points, but I'll at least do it for this triangle. For A, this is 3 right and 4 up. So let's take that. We'll rotate this 90 degrees counterclockwise. So instead of it being 3 right, 4 up, this looks like it's 3 up, 4 left. All right, let's get rid of that. 3 up, 4 left. Oops. Right here. All right, and this is A prime. We'll connect these two. Let's write A prime. That is the coordinate. If you go, right, when you graph our coordinates, it is first how much we go left and right. We're going 4 left, so that's -4. And then 3 up, so that's +3. And the last one is, looks like it is 4 right and 9 up. Okay, I'm gonna be taking B with me here, but 4 right, 9 up. This will be 4 up, 9 to the left. Okay. All right, let me rewrite this. So 4 up, 9 left, or 9 left, 4 up. So that is right here. And we'll label that C prime. Okay, so that's the coordinate -9, 4. So as we notice here, each one of these points are following this rule here, where this is saying we're going to switch X and Y, and we're making Y the opposite. So let's look at A here, right? We have 3 and 4, so we're going to switch it. It'll be 4, 3. And you can see that here as well, but we're going to make that Y value 4 the opposite, and that's why we have -4 here. Okay, so the next one, we have 6, 1, so switch it. We'll have 1, 6. We're making Y the opposite, so that's why it's -1. And then the last one, right, 4, 9, well, it'll be 9, 4. Ooh, whoops. Notice a mistake right there. That's supposed to be a positive. Or that's supposed to be a +4. Okay. All right, so we switch it, 9, 4. So that's what we have here, but we make Y the opposite, so it's a -9. All right, anyways, so with this, you don't have to circle this. I'm just circling this to express importance here. I want to recommend that you pause the video here and you try to do the other ones as well. So next one would be 90 degrees clockwise. So I'm going to recommend that you pause this and you go ahead and try to graph. You're going to be rotating the original triangle ABC 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, and that'll be A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime. Okay. All right, so give that a shot, and then when you're done, go ahead and continue this video, but I'm going to continue here. Okay, I'm not going to show the paths here. I'm just going to show you what the points would be. The first point, A double prime would be at the coordinate, would be right over here, 4 to the right and 3 down. A, and then put 2 tally marks. That is the coordinate 4, -3. B right here, right, that is 6 up and 1, or sorry, 6 right, 1 up. If you rotate this counterclockwise, this will be 6 down and 1 right. So 6 down, 1 right, that is right here. That is B double prime. And that is the coordinate. It is 1 right, 6 down, so +1, -6. And finally, C on this point, it is 4 right, 9 up. This will be 4 down, 9 right. So 4 down, 9 right, right here. But the coordinate is we go right and then down, always X and then Y. This is positive 9 since we're going to the right, and negative 4 since we're going down. So 9, 4. 9, negative 4. All right, let's connect that and label this C double prime. All right, and let's just check this here. So the rule for this is you switch. We make X the opposite in this case, which is now in the Y position. So let's look at the first one here. So switch them. Instead of 3, 4, 4, 3. Yeah, we have 4, 3 here. But you're making, in this case, the X value, which is 3, the opposite. And you can see here, 3 is opposite. It is a negative 3. Okay, I'll leave the other ones alone for now. Let's go and get to the last one, which is rotating 180 degrees, and that is either direction. Okay, so for this, to refamiliarize ourselves, this is the opposite of X and the opposite of Y, no switching happening. So you could just look at these points here and just apply the opposite and then graph it, but we're gonna graph it first. So let's do this. I'm gonna trace this triangle just so you get an idea of what it should be. So this is a triangle here. If I were to highlight this and rotate this 180 degrees, you should get something like this, and it'll be somewhere in the third quadrant, something like that. But yeah, use your patty paper, use the hover method to try to graph each point, A, B, and C. All right, but I'm gonna start with A here. A, in this case now triple prime, this is at the coordinate right here, 3 left, 4 down. Oops. All right, so 3 left, 4 down, that is negative 3, negative 4. And as you can see here, if we just notice this is the opposite of this entire thing here, right? A, which is positive 3, positive 4, it's just the opposite of both of those. Okay, let's go to the next one, B. That is right over here. That is 6 left, 1 down. B triple prime. Right, so 6 left, that's a negative 6. 1 down, that's a negative 1. And then finally, C triple prime will be 4 left, 9 down, right here. C prime. So 4 left, negative 4. 9 down, negative 9. We'll connect this. Okay. And as you can see, all of these are the opposite of all of these. All right, good. So this was performing rotations using either patty paper, or you could have been rotating your book and then noticing the path and then graphing from there. We didn't really use the coordinate rules. We only used the coordinate rules to verify. This next page, or our last page that we're going to be working on, is using that coordinate rule now. So let's go ahead and go to page 64. Okay. For this problem, it says, let's consider rotations of this triangle. We have triangle DEF at the following points. Right, we have D, E, and F. We don't have a graph, and we don't need a graph, really. So for this one, what we're going to be doing is rotating 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. What are the new coordinates? So, right, for rotating 90 degrees counterclockwise, X and Y becomes negative Y, comma, positive X. And underneath here, let's go and put, well, I'll put it actually right over here. We'll put D prime, E prime, and F prime. So pretty much switch them, make Y the opposite. So for this first one here, so switch them. Let's make 10, negative 7. But we're going to make 10 the opposite. So in this case, 10 is a positive, so now it's going to be 10 is a negative. Okay, next one, let's make, for this one, E, negative 5, 5, so let's switch them, 5 and negative 5. But But let's make the y value the opposite. It was positive 5, now it's a negative 5. And then finally, f, we have negative 1, negative 8. So let's switch them. Negative 8, comma, negative 1. Let's go ahead and make, sorry about that. Let's make y the opposite, which is negative 8. It's now going to be a positive 8. So let's get rid of that minus sign there. Okay. So for this, let's just write in words. We switch x and y is opposite. I'll put OPP to abbreviate there. Next one, B. If you rotate 9 degrees clockwise about the origin, what are the coordinates of the vertices? So same thing here, but we have, instead of x comma y, it's very similar to the last one, except the negatives on the other side. We're going to switch them, but it's going to be a negative x instead of a positive x. So we're still using the same exact points here of D, E, and F. Okay, let's first focus, though, on D double prime. Right, and if you can figure out before I kind of say it in the video, you're more than welcome to do so and try to write it down before I write it. But we'll start with D. Negative 7, 10. So switch them. 10, negative 7. But this says make x the opposite. So in this case, I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to erase. Right, x was negative 7. It's now going to be a positive 7. So notice how I erased the negative in front of the 7. It's now 10, 7. Next one, we'll have negative 5, 5. So switch that. And we're going to make x, which is negative 5, a positive. So I'm going to get rid of that minus sign here. And then f prime, or f double prime, sorry. So this one right here, we already did this one. Switch them. So negative 8, negative 1. X is negative 1. It's now a positive 1, so get rid of that minus sign. So really that's all we're doing here. For this one, we also switch x and y. But in this case, x is opposite. All right, and then moving on to the last part of the notes here, or a bookwork. We're now rotating 90 degrees or 180 degrees about the origin. Doesn't matter which direction. The rule for this is x and y become, it's just the opposite of both of them. So negative x, comma, whoops, negative y. There's a negative right here. All right, this is going to be triple primes for all three. All right, let's start with the first one here. So negative 7, 10. Switch both of them. Instead of negative 7, positive 7. Instead of positive 10, negative 10. Next one, E. Negative 5, negative 5, positive 5. So what's the opposite of negative 5? Positive 5. What's the opposite of positive 5? Negative 5. So here, it may seem like we're switching. We're actually not switching. We're just applying the opposite. Which for this, since they're the same number, that's why it appears like it's switching, but don't confuse it with that. And then F, or for F triple prime, negative 1, negative 8, instead of negative 1, positive 1. Instead of negative 8, positive 8. So for this, all it is, it's X and Y are opposite. All right, that's been pretty much it. If you're finished with this, you're going to move on to the assignment, which is on page 67. You're doing 1, A through C, and then on the back side, you're doing 2, I believe A, B, and then E, and then on stretch, on page 68, you're doing number 1. Okay, anyways, you're welcome to put your device away, rip out that page, and then when you're done, put your book away. Okay, all right, anyways, let me know if you have any questions.